a bustling city skyline. People are going about their daily lives, unaware of the impending disaster. The news blares in the background, discussing global tensions. In the year 2026, the world teetered on the edge of chaos. A war broke out in the Middle East, igniting a chain of events that would plunge the global economy into darkness. At the heart of it all, oil. War-torn oil fields in the Middle East. Explosions light up the night sky. Oil refineries burn, pipelines destroyed. Oil prices skyrocketing. With the collapse of major oil supplies, prices soared. What began as a regional conflict spiraled into a global economic crisis. A small American town. A gas station sign shows prices rising to unprecedented levels. $10, $15, $20 per gallon. People panic, forming long lines at gas stations. The sound of frustrated honking fills the air. The stock market, where traders shout frantically as the market crashes. Red numbers flash on the screen, banks going under, industries collapsing. The cost of living skyrocketed, inflation spiraled out of control as transportation, food, and goods became too expensive to afford. Ordinary Americans, already struggling, were pushed to the brink. Families being evicted from homes, stores closing, and empty supermarket shelves. People grow desperate, fighting for basic necessities. Banks shut down, and lines for food banks grow longer and longer. Washington, D.C. The Capitol building looms in the background as political leaders hold frantic meetings. Protesters gather outside, angry and desperate. The U.S. government, unable to control the spiraling economy, tried to intervene. Emergency measures were taken, but they came too late. Jobs were lost, homes foreclosed, entire cities were left in ruins as people turned on each other, military trucks rolling through major cities, imposing curfews. The streets are filled with protesters clashing with police, violence erupting as supplies dwindle. In a dark office, the president speaks to the nation from behind a desk. He looks exhausted, defeated. President, on TV. We ask for patience and unity in these times, but we will do whatever it takes to restore order. Failed government programs, relief efforts blocked by chaos. The rift between the wealthy and the poor widens. But unity was out of reach. Fear and anger spread like wildfire, and trust in the government eroded completely. A rural town. Armed militias patrol the streets, taking control of local areas. The American flag, once a symbol of unity, is torn and burned by opposing groups. Amid the despair, militias and extremist groups rose, feeding on the anger of a broken people. What began as economic frustration turned into violent rebellion. State governments declared independence, and the seeds of civil war were planted. Shots of different regions of the U.S., each under the control of various factions. Buildings burn as rival groups clash, some declaring loyalty to new leaders, others forming breakaway governments. Roads are blocked by makeshift barricades, cities turn into battlegrounds. The fabric of the United States, once a beacon of hope, unraveled. The war for survival had turned into a war against itself. A nation once united was torn apart by greed, fear, and the insurmountable cost of a world in crisis. A once thriving city reduced to smoldering ruins, American citizens fighting in the streets as tanks roll by. And so, the American dream crumbled, not from an enemy across the sea, but from within.